Hello everyone. So today we are going to do Leetcode daily challenge linked list cycle. So in this question we would be given with a linked list, and this linked list would be either having a cycle, the way this particular linked list having a cycle, that is it is pointing towards 2, and thus it consists of a cycle, or there could be some linked lists which don't have any cycle. The way it is here, which don't have any cycle. Now comes the fact that as per question here it's given that we would be given a head, that is head of this linked list. The head of a linked list determines if the linked list has a cycle in it, right? So there is a cycle in linked list if there is some node in the list that can be reached again continuously following the next pointer, and internally there is some pause variable which is used to denote the index of the node that tail's next pointer is connected to. But this pose is not passed as a parameter, and that's why we are unable to detect that at which position our tail pointer is simply pointing towards the any previous node, and thus contributing towards the cycle. But that's not a concern for us. Here the thing is that we need to detect that cycle in this particular linked list, and we need to return true if there is a cycle in the linked list, and if there is not a cycle, then we need to return false. So now comes the part that how we would be required to do it, but before doing it, let's take a look at the constraint. So here the number of nodes are 10 raised to power 4, right? So 10 raised to power 4, and if at the worst case we are having a linked list which has what we say that which has a cycle, means if we are having some linked list, say it goes till 10 raised to power 4, right, and it then comes here, means after when it completely traverses this particular linked list, right, and then it again comes to this first node itself, then it again go ahead and like this only, it will surely be such a huge linked list repeating itself again and again, right? So in this manner, what we need to think about is that we should devise a solution which could simply eliminate this type of conditions also, because then it will be looping itself again and again in such a manner, means completing the whole linked list and then again iterating the given linked list, that it will surely give us TLE. So that's why we are required to have some solution which could simply eliminate that particular condition. And then value of the nodes, that could be negative also and positive also, but presently we are not concerned about the values. And then pose is -1 or a valid index in the linked list. Okay, but here as pose is not passed in our function and it is not giving us anything to detect the cycle, so we are not much concerned about this fact also. So now let's take a look at how we can do it. Like before that, let me show you that we could solve this question by using 2 pointers approach, which is what comes under the Floyd cycle detection. Basically, Floyd cycle detection is an algorithm in which we use the 2 pointers. One pointer is slow pointer and other pointer is the fast pointer. And fast here simply refers to that it will move ahead by skipping 2 nodes, and slow pointer simply means that it will move ahead by skipping 1 node. So this is what is being detected as slow pointer and fast pointer. And because of these two same direction, slow fast pointer, we would be able to eliminate that TLE condition also. That was a concern we were having, but that could be eliminated because of this fact also. So now comes the part that how we will be coding this particular solution. So here I've taken 2 pointers, one is slow pointer and the other one is the fast pointer, which will be skipping out 2 nodes, and a slow pointer will be skipping just 1 node, and we would be having a loop fast which will be simply while fast and fast next. This is just for checking the condition that we are not pointing towards the null, right, or end of the, because there won't be any end condition here, but still we are required to check this on this basis, because the thing is that there could be a condition this also when we don't have any cycle, right? So in that condition, we would be pointing towards null also. So that's why we are required to have such a condition. But if it doesn't point towards the null, and at in that condition only, if slow and fast both becomes equal, then in that condition we are simply required to return true. So this is what I'm writing here. And here the thing is that slow would be moving slow next, that is skipping just one node, and fast would be moving fast next to next, that is skipping two nodes. This is how it will be ongoing. And then at the end we are required to return false. Means while this whole loop runs, if at any point it detects some cycle, and cycle would be detected at that particular point, then slow and fast coincide with each other, and it is surety that they will coincide with each other, because of the fact when slow would be at the middle, then at that point fast would be at the end. And when there is a cycle, right, then at that particular point fast will start from the starting, and at that point when starting, and then there would be some point, then in the middle somewhere the slow and fast will coincide each other because of the cycle. So that's the thing, it will simply coincide each other. And if that is not the case and we exit the loop, and when we are able to exit the loop without returning true, then that simply means that there is no cycle, right? So that's why at the end we are required to return false. So this is how we would be doing this particular question. So at the worst case, the thing is that the cycle could be of any length. So at the worst case, the time complexity would simply go order of n, where n is the length of the linked list, right? And the space complexity is simply order of 1 only. And why order of 1? Because we are not using any space, we are just using this linked list and traversing it. So that's why no extra data structure is being used. So thus, this was the whole solution for this particular question. So I hope you understood it. If you have any doubt, you could simply comment down, and please do like and subscribe to the channel. And thank you.